Merhaba arkadaşlarım. Welcome to the Halkalı train station on the European side of Istanbul. Today we will take the famous Ankara Express night train to Ankara. Since 2019 the Ankara Express starts here in Halkalı daily at 10 p.m. The Ankara Express is part of TCDD's big offer of long-distance night trains within Turkey. After stopping in the main stations in Istanbul, the train follows the traditional Istanbul-Ankara railway. The journey is approximately 600 kilometers long and will take about 8 hours and a half. As for all Turkish long-distance trains, you need to get through a very quick security check and a ticket control before accessing the platform. But this makes the travel very safe as nobody has access to the train without having bought a ticket. The train will be pulled by a TCDD E6800, which is the main workhorse on electrified lines in Turkey. Since the full line is electrified since 1993, it will stay with us until Ankara. Halkalı is also a freight station with some shunting going on. Number 3 is one of the first of its class and built by Hyundai Rotem in South Korea. I love the ambience at Halkalı. To me, it seems like the only real train station left in Istanbul. The whole rail infrastructure in the city has been streamlined during the rebuilding of the Marmara line, and the new stations are more like metro with additional special long-distance platforms. But in Halkalı somehow the traditional spirit lives on. Like, look at this livery and the destination panel. It's not a printed paper, it's a real metal panel. According to the booking platform, the 2+1 Pulman class seats were fully booked, so let's quickly have a look at them before it gets crowded. Despite preferring a real compartment for myself, it's easily understandable why this class is popular. The fare for Istanbul-Ankara is about 8 euros, about the half of a bus or high-speed train ticket. But let's get to the real deal here, the iki yataklı, the double sleeper. For 2 travelers sharing 1 sleeper, the price is about 45 euros. For a single-used sleeper, it's about 30 euros. For me, this is a real bargain, and I am surprised that they are rarely booked to more than half of the capacity. So let me find my hotel room. I have seat number 15 and there are 10 compartments in the wagon. Here we go. Looks like a great place to spend the next 8 hours, doesn't it? It's roomy, clean, air-conditioned. Nice. At exactly 22 p.m. we leave Halkalı on time. And I can't wait to come back to this window tomorrow morning. In Switzerland, almost all the trains are configured as push-pull trains, so there is almost never such an opportunity. Alright, let's have a closer look at the amenities of my hotel room. There is space for luggage here and also under the seats. Working wash basin with soap, personal trash, a power outlet and a mirror. And TGD provides a clean towel. Nice. You have control over the announcement, lights in 2 steps, and the AC. If you need help, you can call the conductor by pressing the button. Since we have 35 degrees at about 70% of humidity, the AC is badly needed, especially in the early night. The 2 beds are prepared with fresh linen. It's super easy, just pop them out and they are ready. You can use this curtain if you want to keep the window open during the night. There are hangers for your clothes, and the small shelf unit has an extension drawer as a table for instance, meals. Inside there is a small closet and a fridge with some complimentary snacks and drinks. Great. Actually, the train has a restaurant car, but currently it's out of service because of Corona. We are now entering the Marmara tunnel through the Bosporus and crossing various subway transit stations. For example, We cross Sekeci underground station, which was built under the former European terminus. To me, it's extremely weird to pass these stations in long-distance trains. In the year I spent in Istanbul now, I got to know them as some kind of a subway, but here we are in a night train. As it is late and we are scheduled to arrive very early, I pulled out the upper bed and will say goodnight. The mattress and the pillow are really comfortable. Yarın görüşürüz. Günaydın Türkiye. Isn't it a perfect view to wake up? But let's not waste any time. It's already 6 a.m. and the train is scheduled to arrive in Ankara at 6:22. This is such a cool view. Also, I think that despite the age of the line itself, the infrastructure seems in perfect shape. And here we cross the Eskişehir-Polatlı high-speed line, which was built parallel to the old line. But wait a minute. According to the schedule, we should have passed Polatlı almost an hour ago. It seems we have 1 hour and a half of delay. But to be honest, this is good news, since it means I can enjoy the morning in this comfy train. I think these modern TVS 2000 cars look gorgeous. By the way, the sleep was good but agitated. Somehow the AC stopped from time to time in the middle of the night, maybe because it became cooler outside. But without AC, there was no fresh air circulation anymore at all. It didn't help that someone smoked from time to time in the train. I know it's forbidden, but not consequently enforced. As the Ankara Express doesn't use the high-speed line, we pass old train station from time to time. For a railway infrastructure and history nerd, there is a lot to be seen here. And in the morning gloom, Polatlı Gar almost seems idyllic. The first overnight service between Istanbul and Ankara was introduced in 1927 by the famous Compagnie Internationale des Wagons-Lits as Anatolian Express. In 1950, TCDD took the line and operated continuously since then, with an interruption between 2014 and 2019 due to the works on the Marmara line. The product was rebranded Ankara Express in the 1970s, and it was an important asset of national mobility and culture. Before we arrive in Ankara, let's have a quick look at the facilities of the wagon. There is a shower room. It was available during the most of the morning and worked. The bathroom has disinfectant, is functional and somewhat clean. On the other end of the car, by the way, there is an alla turca toilet if you fancy that. There is plenty of water pressure and everything works fine. I cleaned up the soapy mess later. It was not possible with the gimbal in the hand. Before arriving in Ankara train station, we cross the regional TCDD depot with lots of rolling stock and maintenance facilities. This is the last bit of Ankara suburbs we will see before arriving. As we are entering the Gar, we are greeted by a historical car of Atatürk's Beyaz Tren. The train station kept a lot of its 1930s Art Deco style. You will see how. On the southern part, you can see the new airport-like Yüksekhızlı train station for high-speed trains. Hoşça kal, Ankara Express. Instead of transforming the old station into a new one, or making two separate stations, TCDD opted for having one big station with a historic and a modern side. That's a great solution, I think. I love the flair and the feeling of brightness in this part of the station. It has representative offices in a very traditional early Turkish Republic style. Ankara's TCDD department seems to value its heritage a lot. Only a few minutes after arriving, the shunting begins, and this is some heavy metal diesel. Ankara Station's main building was built in 1937 and is probably one of the very few buildings from that era preserved functionally and in very good condition. Alright, let's leave. There is even a sign to the station's barber left. How retro is that? Thank you for having joined me, and hopefully see you next time.